centuries-old stone temple. The stonework features intricate, masterfully carved figures that demonstrate unbroken local rule. Anyone who makes the mistake of staying inside these stone walls past sunset will not. Deep within the dense forests of central India lies an area most locals refuse to enter after dusk. The tree canopy here is thick enough to block out the sky, creating an isolating, oppressive darkness. Hidden directly in the center of this overgrown wilderness sits an abandoned old stone temple. The stonework features intricate, masterfully carved figures that demonstrate some of the finest ancient craftsmanship in the region. Yet, despite this architectural beauty, the ruins have an incredibly dark reputation. According to a strict, unbroken local rule, anyone who makes the mistake of staying inside these stone walls past sunset will not survive to see the morning. The striking visual appeal of the ruins frequently draws in curious travelers and unsuspecting wanderers, effectively acting as bait for what the surrounding villages believe is an inescapable supernatural death trap. Local lore claims that centuries ago, a beloved, benevolent king was betrayed by his enemies and murdered right on the temple floor. With his dying breath, he cursed the grounds. The fear surrounding this location stems from a very real body count. Over the decades, multiple people who sought shelter inside the temple at night have been found completely lifeless the next day. When authorities investigate these deaths, they find absolutely nothing. The victims show no signs of a struggle, no defensive wounds, and zero external marks of violence. We saw a similarly baffling lack of initial evidence during the infamous Gadchiroli murders in Maharashtra. When victims like Shankar Kumbhare and Vijaya Devi first collapsed, investigators could not find a single physical clue or trace of poison to explain why their organs failed. Without any forensic evidence or logical explanation for the seemingly spontaneous deaths at the temple, the isolated local population accepted the story of the murdered king's vengeful ghost as an undeniable fact. Eventually, a team of modern geologists arrived at the site. They bypassed the folklore entirely, refusing to accept magic or spirits as a legitimate medical cause of death. Instead of looking for ghosts in the shadows, they systematically analyzed the physical ground the structure was built upon, focusing their testing directly on the deep rock strata beneath the floorboards. Their instruments revealed a massive structural hazard. The ancient architects had constructed the entire foundation directly on top of a dormant volcanic fissure. This specific geological feature causes a process known as volcanic outgassing. Deep within the earth, the fissure continuously vents highly toxic, invisible chemical gases up toward the surface through the porous stone. The ancient builders had no way of knowing it, but they had erected a stunning historical monument squarely on top of a massive, deadly geological exhaust pipe. During the day, the intense heat of the central Indian sun bakes the surrounding ground. This high ambient temperature causes the leaking toxic gases to rise rapidly and dissipate into the open atmosphere without harming anyone. The danger only activates at dusk. As the sun sets over the jungle, the ambient atmospheric temperature drops sharply. This chart visualizes exactly what happens next. As the red temperature line drops sharply, you see the blue shaded area representing gas density rapidly rise at the bottom. The sudden cooling forces heavy, lethal compounds, specifically carbon monoxide and sulfur, to sink quickly to ground level. Because the temple is an enclosed stone structure, it functions exactly like a bowl. It blocks the wind, trapping these sinking, heavy gases inside and completely engulfing the lower floor space where a person would lay down to sleep. The victims asphyxiated in their sleep. It is the exact same mechanism used by Sanghamitra in the Gadchiroli case, where she deployed a colorless, odorless, laboratory-grade heavy metal poison to kill without leaving a trace. Nature was simply doing it on a larger scale. The centuries-old curse had absolutely nothing to do with a betrayed king. It was a perfectly timed, fatal combination of ancient architectural design and basic atmospheric physics. The bodies were real, and the danger of staying past sunset was completely accurate.
However, the invisible force draining their life was a strict chemical reaction, not a supernatural entity. Across many remote regions of India, severe and misunderstood natural events frequently become the foundation for deep-rooted local myths, driving villagers to rely on spells and rituals for protection.
Fake gurus and self-proclaimed holy men, like the notorious fraud Jabat Singh in Assam, actively exploit this specific lack of scientific literacy, using naturally occurring anomalies to manipulate terrified populations for profit. But objective investigation does not have to erase our history. When underwater archaeologists mapped the submerged ruins off the coast of Gujarat, they used modern technology to verify the ancient texts detailing the lost, sunken city of Dwarka. Applying rigorous geological and forensic analysis to these ancient ruins preserves their historical wonder, while replacing paralyzing, irrational fear with empowering, actionable understanding. The next time you encounter a string of inexplicable bad luck, or an event that seems entirely unnatural, look closely at the environment around you. The explanation is almost certainly waiting to be uncovered by the tools of logic, reason, and scientific inquiry.